Tonight, we're going to stage a special 2004 Stanley Cup flashback episode, if you will, of the Block Party, and you are all here to be a part of it tonight. So it is absolutely my pleasure right now to welcome to this stage your 2020 Stanley Cup champion, my co-host, my brother, Braden Coburn. Come on up, Kobe. Kobe, I do believe this is the largest Block Party live show we've ever done with this many people, this many Lightning legends in the house. This is pretty cool, man.
This is really cool. And you know what I really want to say is, Richie, congrats. Andy, congrats. 2004 Stanley Cup champions, congrats. 2004.
Yeah, what were you, like 19?
I was drafted in 2003, and so this has kind of been bothering me all night, but I see like all these guys, and when I made it to the league, these guys were all like super vets.
Sure.
And I just didn't know if this whole like a Lightning alumni thing, if there's like Lightning alumni hazing. Like, I'm looking at you, Dave.
Like initiation, yeah, watch out for that guy.
Like, I don't want to be doing any keg stands later, so maybe I'll just sneak out the back door over there, if that's okay with you, Andy. But
I don't think there's going to be any rookie hazing tonight for you, Kobe. I think you're safe here tonight. So let's get things going here. We're going to take you through the Lightning's memorable run, shall we? And we have a special guest to do that for us, shall we?
We sure do. And just to kind of go down memory lane, we have the ultimate gentleman, the Mr. Paul Kennedy.
History, to etch your name in lore, to carve your name in permanence, is something we all dream of doing. But making history is not easy, nor is it a singular achievement. It requires time. It takes a team, willing to push one another beyond what the mind deems possible. For 2 soaring months in 2004, our story aligned with destiny. And what made that journey so unforgettable was the crucible that the Tampa Bay Lightning faced to get there. In the midst of a middling mark through the first 3 months of the season, the Lightning would suddenly be electrified, surging to a 31-14-2 mark over the final 3 months to finish as the Southeast Division champions. They would carry that momentum into the first round of the playoffs, dispatching the Islanders in 5 games, behind not 1, not 2, but 3 shutouts from goaltender Nikolai Habebulin, and capping the series' clinching victory behind an overtime goal from Marty St. Louis.
Score! What a goal by Marty St. Louis! And again, he's won it for the Lightning!
The Bolts machine was unrelenting, charging into the second round, sweeping the storied Canadiens, highlighted by 5 goals and 7 points from Montreal native Vincent Lecavalier, and an unforgettable overtime goal in Game 3 from Brad Richards. 2 rounds down, 2 to go, and where their 2003 playoffs had concluded, this 2004 team was now skating into an uncharted universe and a test of their resolve, unlike anything they had ever faced before.
Ooh, the mystery there, Kobe. I love how that worked up. Listen, let's welcome back 2 of those individuals from the 2004 Stanley Cup champs. Some of the toughest SOBs you'd ever want to face. No offense, Kobe, but let's bring them up right now. Brad Lukowich and the Dish, Chris Dingman. Come on down, gentlemen.
Good to see you, big boy. Looking good, kiddo.
Come on, where you can sit right there. It's up to you, my guy. Come on down, Dish.
My good side.
Your good side.
Yeah.
There they are. Dinger, good to see you, man. Guys looking good. Feeling good? Yeah, we got to give you guys a highlight. We figured, it's a Bolts Block Party powered by Highlight, so let's get you a fresh one there, Dinger.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
All right, hey, Luco, I'm glad you got it. I know they sent out a dress code, and there was like a 50-50 chance you were coming in a suit jacket, a rocker T-shirt, and maybe a Speedo. Is that what I heard?
The Speedo thing's out,
Speedo.
man.
I saw the video
thing's
from the
out.
cruise. The Speedo was
The calendar will be out soon.
All right, Brads, hey, watching the first 2 rounds, like, just walk us through. What comes to mind when you relive in those moments?
Well, I mean, it was just an awesome ride. You know, those teams growing up, Islanders was my favorite team, so getting to knock them off in the first round was pretty cool. But, you know, there's some cool stories that happened there. You know, New York, we lost the first game, we win the second game, we went in there, and one of the greatest memories I have of even playing is when we were in Garden City. We were there for the pregame skate meeting, and instead of actually going to the rink, Daryl Sador got up, had a little heart-to-heart with the boys, and got us all fired up, and kind of just got everybody going to this is a huge opportunity for the fellas to get together. Not a lot of guys get an opportunity to be on such a good team and have an opportunity to win, and it really kind of gelled us together, and that was the beginning of that run for us that just wound up being epic.
No better place to start than Long Island, I guess, right?
Pretty nice spot.
So, Dinger, I actually just saw the other day you were up on Twitter and you retweeted something from Mission Curfew, right? And it was the finals between the Flames and the Bolts, and it was quoted as saying, this was the definition of a man's game. And you commented on that, and you said it was a different game back then. Looking at that series specifically, elaborate on what you mean by that. And there was a different game back then. It was a man's game. What's the difference?
Okay. Am I allowed to swear?
You are.
Boiler did
we
last
can beep
year.
it out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Boiler did.
I'll try not to, but
It's hard to speak Canadian without swearing.
oh my God, it's like hooking. Yeah, hooking and holding wasn't a penalty.
Right.
It was literally. I tell my boys this, like, it's prison rules, and they're like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "Anything goes." So that series was literally prison rules where. Like hooking, holding, elbowing, like guys were hurt, and the Flames they were bigger. I wouldn't say tougher, but they were a bigger team. They were trying to push us around. And
Sure.
we talked about it as a team where, you know, Luke, you can touch on this too, where it's like we just have to show up and just keep playing because they're going to try and run us over. Like Feds ran into the boards and, you know, you got split for 6 or 8. I went head first into the boards. I think it was like game 3, and I was sitting on the bench in the third period, and I was like, I don't feel good. And I'm like, I go down underneath. I know you guys are eating, so I'm not going to elaborate anymore, but I wasn't feeling well. And probably had a concussion. There was a couple other guys that did, and I didn't practice the next day. Took pregame skate because I'm playing. You'd have to kill me to not play in the finals. So, I mean, just like that whole everything about it, like our team, and you know, we were a team. It was all about everybody. It was about all the guys. We needed everybody. We needed everyone to block shots and do their role, and that's what was great about it. And going into Calgary, and this is what bothered me because Tampa has unbelievable fans. And people, cheer for that, please. And, you know, we go to Calgary, and I was drafted by Calgary. Right. And they weren't very good. And my first year was 97, and we're like 15,000 people in the arena. And like we get to the finals, and everyone's like, oh, these Canadian fans, the Flames, are so passionate, and this and that, and the Red Mile. And I'm like, F the Red Mile. Like Sid and I would take a cab to the rink earlier, and like the Red Mile, everyone's partying and having a good time. And it's easy to cheer your team on when you're in the finals. And I'd literally roll the window and be like, where were you guys back in 97, hopping on the chuck wagon, bunch of bandwagon, you know, whatever. So and then you come here and there's 23,000 people and 20,000 or 25,000 on the plaza. So just all those things are kind of, I know I'm rambling on. I have that.
It's okay, man.
I don't do a lot of interviews, so anytime someone asks me a question, if you want me on the podcast, you can ask me one question. I guarantee I can kill 20 minutes.
You just did.
Well,
you just did. We're on the podcast now.
Thanks for having us, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, Dish, I'm glad they didn't have the boat parade back then. I feel like you might have been still at the bottom of the bay.
Oh my God, I would have had the water wings on. I would have been like, woo, here we go, yeah, floating.
You guys both seem to have worn your talents on to the next generation. Luco, I mean, it would be a good time as dad life right now. Humble brag. Your daughter doing fantastic in the world of music. Dinger, your son crushing it in the WHL. Give a little humble brag on your kids and passing down some of that talent to them.
You want to go first, or you want me to? Well, I have 3 kids, so.
Yeah, but one of them, right? I mean, he's.
Yeah, so my boys play on the same team. So I have a 17 and 15-year-old. My 7-year-old wasn't drafted. He's got a body like my wife. If you guys have seen my lovely wife, she's like in really good shape after 3 kids, and I'm like not so much. I worked out today, actually. Doesn't look like it, but I was a little worried about the pants fitting. But yeah, they play in the same team. They play in the same line.
Okay.
And like I try to tell them stuff, and they won't listen to me. And then Chelsea will be like, "No, you got to listen to your dad, like on certain things." And like they get on each other. Like if one's not ready to play, it's like you weren't ready to play in the first. You were whatever, and this and that. So like I don't coach them, but I really try and pass on like being early, like working hard, and it'll pay off. And then we have a 4-year-old daughter as well, and she works hard and tells me what to do and tells me how to do it. And,
of course.
I don't think I'm like English is my second language, so you guys have to bear with me here. But every time it's like, hey, Daddy, could you say bicycle? I'm like, bicycle. She's like, no, bicycle. I'm like, bicycle? She's like, no. Anyways, I get corrected quite a bit, but everything I try and pass on to my kids is, working hard.
Yeah.
Being a good person. Don't be an a-hole. They're the biggest things for me, and just be good to other people, and it'll pay off. Like
Solid dad advice.
That's what sports is. That's what life is, and you don't have to clap for that.
That's solid dad advice.
No, but coming back here. And like last year, like I'm surprised I get invited. I told you I'd talk for a long time. I'm surprised I get invited every year, and I love it. I love coming back. I love seeing, everyone from the team and the staff and the people who work here. And I'm like, they want me to come?
Yeah.
Like, I'm in. This is great. So
this is why.
I'll let you talk now, Luke. I apologize.
You might have hit your max. Like you might have hit. It's like
What were we even talking about now?
You only get 15 minutes max.
I mean, I was giving him a moment to give a humble brag, and he, took 5.
Pass
It's okay.
like our work ethic onto the kids, I believe was the question.
Yes, work
Yeah,
ethic.
okay. Yeah.
Talent passed down.
Okay,
generations.
my 20-year-old that was born here in Tampa, she'll be 21 here in a couple months. She's in the horse world, so that's one big reason why we live in Dallas. So she does a lot of that stuff there. I mean, it's not easy wrestling horses every day. She grew up MMA and kind of doing all that whole thing. So she's kind of been in the fight world, loved that. And then she moved on to horses. Now she beats the crap out of horses. And then my younger one, she's 16, turning 17. I apologize for how many times I put the same songs on my Instagram, but I'm pretty proud of her. She rocks out and does a great job up on stage. She takes it pretty serious. So she's actually she writes her own music now. She started on the bass guitar. Now she's doing regular guitar and writing her own stuff. Got a new band that she's playing in.
It's awesome.
And really take her to shows and teach her that don't sit in the back. Try to get your way to the front. And if you can't get your way to the front, go to the back door and find a way to get in that way. So just little tricks of the trade, and she's having a blast doing it, and I love doing it too, so I get to play with her, and it's a lot of fun, man.
It's very cool to see the talent go down to the next generation in whichever way that may be. So thank you, gentlemen. I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but Dinger,
you got it.
Luco, we thank you guys for joining us here on the block party tonight. So let's dive right in to our next round, the 2004 Eastern Conference Final. Let's have a look.
As the Bolts took to the ice for their first ever Eastern Conference Final, the Philadelphia Flyers would provide the first true test of Tampa Bay's spirit, presenting the Lightning with the most physical 7 games this franchise had ever endured. Game by grueling game, blow by vicious blow. The two combatants traded wins through the first 5 contests, with the Bolts winning Game 5 to take a 3-2 series lead. With a chance to punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup Final hanging in the balance, in Game 6, the Bolts held a 4-3 lead in the final 2 minutes of regulation, but Keith Primeau tied the game to push the contest to overtime. And then, 2 minutes into the pressure-packed extra frame, Simone Gagne scoring to force a winner-take-all Game 7. As they returned home to face their fate, with the power of a hockey-fueled town behind them, the Bolts summoned all their will to bleed out one final victory. And near the end of the first period, a stunning lightning strike.
Brad Richards' little shot to the screen. Score! Score! Somebody deflected that one in front! Fedotenko again!
Ruslan Fedotenko scoring the 6th of his team-leading 6 goals in this series to take a 1-0 first-period lead. Early in the second, Freddie Modine would add to the tally, but the Flyers would punch back to cut the lead to 2-1. Yet now, behind the Boulin Wall, the Bolts would stand tall when it mattered most, grinding until the clock expired to propel Tampa Bay to the next chapter of their incredible story.
The Lightning will play for the Stanley Cup!
Gotta love Phil. Yeah. Is anything better than that? Bolts Nation, please welcome from your 2004 Cup champs, your gritty grinders. Corey Sarich and Ben Clymer are here, Bolts Nation. Gentlemen, thank you both for being here this evening. Ben, let's start with you. You joined the Bolts back in 99 through 2000 season. You watched this team transform over the next 5 seasons. You also went from an NHL defenseman to a forward, but how proud were you of this team, whether it was win or lose? You were there through it all.
Well, I mean, Dinger talked about the fans. I also remember when maybe the culture and the experience wasn't the same here. Early in my career, it was seemingly you could get a ticket anywhere, and then all of a sudden, Brad shows up, others start showing up, we start winning, which was an amazing experience to be a part of this community, and thrilling to watch it go from bottom to top. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Sarchi, so you played in this league for 15 years, almost 1,000 games, absolute warrior. You know what it takes to get to the finals, and you were part of that finals and then the Stanley Cup, and your ticket's punched as a Stanley Cup champion forever. What does it mean to be a part of this group for you?
For me, I got to go back a little bit like Ben was just talking about. When I got traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning, we were kind of a joke. Like, we were seriously not very good. No one wanted to come watch us, mathematically eliminated from the playoffs in January. And for me to be a part of this group, to go from what we were when I got here, I called them the Red Army practices. We'd have 40 guys on the ice, but then come game time, only 15 could suit up because everybody was injured, right? Because we were not a playoff team, not a playoff quality team. We started to bring people into this team, quality players like the guys that are in this room. And for me as a young guy to grow with this group and watch what we turned ourselves into, it was hard work, it was dedication, and it was guys that wanted to be here and wanted to win. It was an amazing experience. And I felt like I kind of went through my childhood years as an NHL player on this team and turned into something by watching the guys around me. It was super impressive, and I'll never forget it. And each and every individual in this room brought something to that team, and it was such a cool experience that I won't get anywhere else, so really proud of it.
So kind of from country club to the Torts Army, right?
I'll never forget, Torts came in here. One of our doctors was joking about, we're going to go be golfing again this year in April. Well, we're in Florida anyways. Gone the next day. Guy was axed. I was like, okay, we're getting serious around here. It's about time. Better hit the gym, better get ready. Things are going to change. It was great.
Speaking of golf, I actually saw a video of you and the great Paul Kennedy back in 2004 on the course together. Matter of fact, who won that round? Do you remember?
Yeah, probably PK.
And for both of you guys, going to that game, or actually the last 2 series, Game 7, right? Back and forth. I know you had talked about that before, just the mental gruel of going back and forth, not really getting over that hump to try to win that second game. Take us back to how grueling that was for both of you guys to continue to go back and forth in those series.
I think success starts long before most people realize. And so I actually bring it back a year before when we lost in New Jersey. And I remember Pavel Kabina shot Scott Stevens in the head with the slap shot. And he was, rumored to play the next day, and we're like, there's no way this guy's going to play. He comes off with this thing over his ear in warm-ups, and I'm thinking this is a joke. Right. Like, there's no way. And he plays. And I think the lesson learned in that was that no matter what, you were going to play. And not every team does that. And I think when we lost to them that year, we also looked at ourselves and said, we maybe didn't play our best. We could have played better. They go on and win. And then thinking in the summer, if they could win, certainly we could win. Then we start to have success. It continues through the course of the season, and then there is some bounces that go your way. But the belief in learning, I think, started that series.
Yeah, I agree. That was boys against men. They pretty much wiped the floor with us. We weren't ready, and it took a whole nother season. I remember one game in particular in this building. The Detroit Red Wings are in town, and they were a nice hockey club. They were a great team. Stevie Yzerman. The Sea of Red was in here because that's the way it just was. I think we held them almost shotless in the first period. I think we outshot them like 17 or 18 to 1. And I was like, man, we're a good hockey team. And it was the growing pains that we went through.
And there was a time, and you were here too, when Let's Go Red Wings happened in this building.
Yeah, that kind of stuck in my craw a little bit. Didn't really enjoy that all that much. But yeah, like he said, countless lessons throughout a course of a couple seasons, and then you get to the grind, and you're in those series against Philly and against Calgary, and it's ugly hockey and it's clutch and grab. But there was a belief in here, and that's eventually what got us through, because you win one, you lose one, you win one, you lose one. I look at Keith Primo in that series against Philly. We were talking about him. Yeah. He was a one-man wrecking crew. I've never seen him play that good of hockey. To kind of overcome that, and the players we played against was, memories are made.
Sergey, how much of the progression for you guys was, getting tougher, but mental toughness? Like, you guys sounded like you guys mentally just had to get tougher for your guys' team to be able to get to the next level.
Yeah, you hear about that stretch we had. What was it, 32, 14, and whatever over the course of the second half of that season, and that's where you build your resilience and your mental toughness. We knew we could win. I've never been on a team before, maybe Calder Cup finals, that team in Rochester that I had a long time ago. I've never been on a team where I knew we were going to win. You go into every game, it's like, we could win tonight. We're going to win, no questions asked. This series, Game 7, Calgary, we're going to win. No questions asked, belief. There was no doubt. I've never had it before. Don't think I'll ever have it again. Those are special times.
Love it. Love the emotions, guys. How about another round of applause for Corey and Ben here tonight, guys? Enjoy the rest of the night. We thank you so much for your time. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much, Corey. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, guys. Awesome stuff. All right. And now to the big finish, Kobe. We all know how it turned out, but it never fails to give us chills when we go back to that very fateful day, June 7th, 2004.
As the 2004 Stanley Cup final dawns, Tampa Bay is the epicenter of hockey and the location of the Lightning's greatest challenge to date, a trial by fire. And if the series against the Flyers was a battle, this was a war. It's a series of sacrifice, as both teams leave everything on the ice. Calgary, though, would capture Game 1, yet the Bolts bounced back in Game 2. And the series shifted to Calgary. The Flames took Game 3 in a 3-0 Mika Kiprasov shutout. But a statement from Vinny LeCavalier helped turn the tide.
Vinny lands a right on Iginla, another right on Iginla, another right on Iginla. LeCavalier nailed him with one.
And in Game 4, Nikolai Khabibulin responded with a 1-0 shutout of his own. Now the series was locked 2-2. The critical Game 5 returned to the Bay, and with the Flames clinging to a 2-1 lead, Freddie Modin scored on the power play with just 37 seconds left in regulation to rocket the game into overtime. But just 5 minutes into the extra frame, Calgary connected for the game winner to force the Lightning into a critical Game 6. Prevail or perish, 2,000 miles from home. With the Stanley Cup in the house and in the face of a sea of red, this night would require every ounce of heart for these Bolts to live to fight another day. The anxiety of a scoreless first period only added to the immeasurable pressure. In the second period, Brad Richards would score twice on the power play. But that elation was fleeting, as the Flames responded twice themselves to deadlock the score. They'd carry that tie through a scoreless third and a full, fretful overtime period. Who would blink first with the cup so incredibly close, yet just beyond their reach? It wasn't until Marty St. Louis capitalized on a rebound seconds into the second overtime to score the greatest goal in Lightning history.
Left point shot to a screen, save made, rebound, score! 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 It's Marty St. Louis, baby! Marty's done it again!
A landmark moment, shocking the hockey world, the Flames, and their fans, and sending this series back to the Bay for a crowning showdown. The two greatest words in sport, Game 7. And the Lightning held all the cards. Momentum, home ice, and an entire Bolts nation behind them. The only thing left to be done was to win. And midway through the first, Ruslan Fedotenko fired the critical first strike. And in the second, Ruslan would do it again, cashing in off a hard-earned assist from Benny Lecavalier. Carrying a 2-0 lead into the third period, the Lightning had Tampa Bay on its feet. But when Craig Conroy punched in a power play goal at the period's halfway point, exuberance turned to anxiety. The tension intensified with every shift, rising to an apex until a dream became reality.
Leopold lays it in front. Oh, Abby Ball knocks it away. 1 second left. A shot. Wide left. It's over. It's over. It's over. Stanley Cup. Tampa Bay. Yes. The Lightning has won the Stanley Cup.
A champion is crowned. A 20-year-old dream comes true. Under the guidance of the Jack Adams Coach of the Year, while an MVP casts all the credit to his teammates, and a pair of Lightning legends cement their legacy. For each and every member of the 2004 Tampa Bay Lightning, whose names are forever engraved on the silver chalice, they complete a quest, a journey that now has them walking together forever.
I still get chills. Incredible, unforgettable, magical. Those are words that come to mind, Kobe.
Magical. Yeah, I'm sure there's other words. Torts, would you have some more words? Maybe effing blank, 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 or anything like that? It's okay. We can get those from you later.
Hey, Kobe, shut your yap. I remember, Coach. All right, so let's bring up these next two gentlemen. He was here, all right. He's already here. I was hoping this one was going to do a cartwheel. Andre Waugh and Danny Boyle are here. Yeah, we figured a highlight was in order.
Oh, say hi. Come on.
Yeah. I thought you would know cartwheels.
You guys thought the dish had a lot to say? Wait till you get hold of my boy here.
I'm going home now.
Listen,
Exactly.
I just would like to say, if you ever have a chance to go on a cruise with Andre Waugh, for those that went, it is worth the price of admission. Bolts on Board cruise back in January, it was absolutely exceptional. But you, my friend, you really took it up a notch, and I thank you. Because without you, I don't think it would have been as fun. So just thank you for being you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's good to see you, gentlemen.
It was fun. Thanks for coming out with all the fans. It was awesome, for real.
It was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
So, guys, it's good to have you back. You guys were here last year, and we thank you both for being a part of the inaugural event. But let's start with you, Andre. Tomorrow, we got a little pickleball action going on. First, we took a vote. Are you going to dress more like Andre Agassi or John McEnroe? That's the bet's going on right now.
Oh, wow.
Do we have an outfit for tomorrow? Any side bets going on?
No outfit so far. But before I answer your question, I just want to congratulate Dave and Brad for tonight. Congrats, guys. It was a pleasure playing with you guys. So congratulations on that. My time will come. just kidding. No outfits for tomorrow.
Okay.
I gotta say it's my first time. I've never played pickleball, so I don't know what to expect. Hopefully I don't pull my hamstring or nothing. But
Stretch.
yeah, I'm looking forward. Yeah, I'll stretch.
Just don't get to the final boss, because if you have to play JBB, you're in trouble. That's
We
what
got
I've
a partner
heard,
for you. Julian Breezewell right over there. He can be your partner. I'm
Right.
sure he'd love a rookie partner.
Julien, Team Montreal. Come on. No, just kidding.
So when you guys see those videos and you think back to those moments, especially you, Dan, I mean, you were a part of such a legendary run here. What kind of emotions does that conjure up when you see that again?
I still got goosebumps. It's 20 years, man. 20 years. Got goosebumps watching that. The thing about hockey, it's a team sport. I think obviously we all watch tennis. We all love golf, individual sports. But there's something special about being on a team. And whether you're playing 25 minutes a night, or 4 minutes a night.
Two.
You're right in the lineup.
But I was good in the locker room, Boiler.
That's my point. I'm gonna get
exactly.
to it.
You never complain in the shower either.
Oh, good.
My bad.
All right.
Hey, those spots in the back are tough to get, you know?
My point is, my point is whether you play 25 minutes or not, it's a team sport, and we were a frickin' awesome team. Great goaltending, great defensemen, both on the offensive side, defensive side. Your top two lines, your grinders, coaching staff obviously knew what they were doing. Jay put this team together, deserves some credit. And even the people behind the scenes. I mean, I had a house fire in Game 1 against the Flames.
I remember that. Yeah, that's not a good
Bill
message.
Wickett and Sean, I mean, they helped me through that. So it takes a team. So it's not just the guys on the ice, the guys behind the bench. And obviously, we won it for a reason. We had a great squad, and I get goosebumps looking at that stuff.
Boiler, so as a card-carrying member of the Defenseman Union, you know, I got to ask, because you guys had so much offensive firepower up front. We know we're honoring the guys that were the offensive firepower up front, but can you talk about the D-Corps? And you were one of the leaders back there, and that group, and how you guys were able to gel and kind of complement everything they were doing offensively.
Yeah, I mean, Torts is right there. It took a little time. Obviously, it took a few meetings for him to understand what my vision was. But we all played our parts.
Me too.
We all
Me
played
too.
our
It
parts. He's
took
talking
a
about the
time
D-man. He's
before.
talking about the D-man. We all played our parts. Obviously, some guys are more offensive, some guys are more defensive. But at the end of the day, we all wanted to win. And whether that was doing it, scoring goals, quarterbacking the power play, or blocking shots. There's a lot of unsung heroes, guys like Stan Neskach, Sid, Cully, Rums. Yeah, I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, yeah, we just.
He liked his ribeyes on the road.
It just takes everybody. It's back to my original point. It takes a team, and it's not just the guys that are scoring the goals. It's the guys that are doing the ugly work. And I think we had a great D-Corps that got done.
Yeah. Hey, Andre, so we've seen tons about you guys on the ice. Let's talk a little bit about the team off the ice. What was this group like? You know, you guys are going to dinner. What's that like as if this team gets together at that run?
Oh, boy.
Oh, it was good. We did do a lot of team meals on the road, obviously. We also had team meals together, but every time we'd go somewhere on the road, we'd try to regroup the most guys we could, just to go and have dinner. There's one time in Nashville, I think we asked Abby to, hey, Abby, we're all going to Morton's. You want to come with us and that? So he's just like, no, I have plans, so whatever. We're like, all right, take care, buddy. So we go to Morton's. We have dinner there. We sit down. There's maybe 12 of us just sitting there. We're like, hey, look in the corner. Who's there? Abby's there reading a book with a glass of red wine. We're like, hey, Abby, how are you doing? So anyways, he was, all right, good talk, Abby. Just goalies are different breeds, right? So
you guys must have got a lot of free meals, too. I heard Vinny, he paid for all the meals on the road. That's what he's been telling me for years.
Vinny, not so much, yeah. But speaking of Nashville, we had a good one, too. I think one time our backup goalie, Johnny Graham, just slept in, and our captain, Dave, had to, obviously he's the captain, so we're waiting in the bus. Obviously, Johnny's he's late to get on the bus, right, to leave to the airport. So Andy, as a captain, is like, I'm going to try to go wake him up. So Andy went upstairs, knocking on the door, trying to get in. Anyways, eventually, he got in the door with the hotel concierge, whatever, they have these. So told Grammer to get ready and come and meet us, because obviously he was not making the flight, right, and the bus. And in the meantime, we're in the bus, and Torts said, all right, we're out of here. Get the beep out of here, And so we're taking off, and guys like, hey, wait. And Andy's in the hotel. Where are we going? Andy's. So anyways, so we look. I still in my head, I see Andy that's there. He's almost 40. He plays with 2 braces, and he's running behind the bus. He's running behind the bus in Nashville. Wait. But it was like Forrest Gump, right? So, but then everybody in the bus,
Run,
stop
Andy,
the
run.
bus. Yeah, exactly. Run, Andy. And everybody in the bus, stop the bus. But that was the message Storts wanted to see if we're really a team that care for each other. Are we going to leave a guy behind, which showed what we were as a group, you know, and I think Torts appreciate us saying, no, we're not leaving Andy behind. Obviously, the bus stopped. Andy got on, and he was sweaty as beep. But and Andy, what the beep was that? Andy's sweating. I'm like, hey, here's a Bud Light, Andy. He chugged it. Anyways, but that was awesome. That was our team, right?
Love it.
So,
You summed it all up right there.
Yeah.
How about some love? Andre Waugh and Danny Boyle.
Thank you, guys.
2004.
Are we done?
That's it.
Okay.
We got to get this show on the road, guys.
Also,
Thank you guys so much.
another time.
Always good time. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow at Pickleball. So that's going to do it, folks, for our pre-show here, our special 2004 edition of the Bolts Block Party, powered by our friends at Highlight IPA. Kobe, it's been amazing. We cannot thank our friends from Dex Imaging for the amount of love and support that they've given us here for the Alumni Weekend. And are you guys ready to finally induct some Hall of Fame legends here?